Good morning and welcome. We are delighted that you have decided to join us today for our Sunday morning celebration service right here at Unity of Citrus County. We invite you to get settled in. Our service is about to begin in just a few moments. It is our sincere prayer that the music, the meditation, and the message will uplift you and inspire you to become the light of the world that you have come here to be. We invite you to come and visit us in person. We would love to meet you. And we invite you to also visit our website at www.unityofcitrus.org. Have a blessed day.
You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God.
Tu es l'image de Dieu.
I hold you in my heart.
Tu es l'image de l'amour.
You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God.
Tu sei la luce di Dio.
I hold you in my heart.
Tu sei il volto dell'amore.
You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of love. The face of love. I hold you in my heart. You in my heart. You are my family. You are my family. You are the face of love. The face of love. You are the face of love. The face of love. I hold you in my heart. You in my heart. You are my family. You are my family. You are the face of love. The face of love. You are the face of God. The face of God. I hold you in my heart. You in my heart. You are a part of me. A part of me. You are the face of God. The face of God. You are the face of God.
Eres la luz de Dios.
I hold you in my heart.
Eres la cara del amor.
You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. You are the face of
sei la luce di Dio.
You are the face
You
of
are
the face of God. You are the face
Tu
of
es
God.
l'image de Dieu.
You are the face
You
of
are the face of God.
You are the face
Oh,
of
c'est
God.
la luz de Dios.
You are the face
You
of
are the face of God.
God. You are the face
Tu
of God.
es judoí.
You are the
You
face of
are the face of God.
You are the face of
Eres la luz de Dios.
You are the face of
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I just love that song, don't you? I love the images, too. They make me smile. And it makes me realize that we are so connected to one another, that everyone is and everything is an expression of God. So welcome this morning. Welcome, welcome. Are you tired this morning? Yeah, I know.
I had such anxiety about not getting up on time that I got up too early. But it's all good. It's all good. I want to welcome those of you that are visiting us for the very first time. Thank you for being with us today. We really appreciate you. And we know, and we know that there's no coincidences. We just know that we are here by divine appointment. Each and every one of us are here by divine appointment. So there is something special for us here today, which we're going to be receptive to, whatever that may be. It might be through the music or a word that someone shares with you, or through the message today. Something really special is here for you today. And we're just delighted that you're here. So we have a full-packed service this morning. So I'm going to just ask us to take a quick greeting to one another. Say namaste to each other, or hello. Namaste means the light in me sees the light in you. That's all it means. The light in me sees the light in you. Namaste. And then turn around and say hello to our YouTube and Facebook family, who are probably home nice and cozy in a nice warm blanket. Good morning. So good to have you with us this morning. And so for now, let us just begin to set the intention for the service. I ask you to get real comfortable where you are. And if it's comfortable for you, I invite you to take a nice deep breath. Close your eyes if it feels good to you, or not. And just for a moment, be really still. Feel the sweetness of the silence as we acknowledge the presence of the one power of love and light in this universe and in our lives, God the good. Allow yourself to feel the activity of that presence moving in and through you, and filling this place with the energy of love, the energy of peace. And feel how your heart opens and expands to give gratitude. Gratitude for this beautiful day. Gratitude for life. Gratitude to have a place that we can congregate in. So much to be grateful for. Allow yourself to be in that sweet stillness of your heart, your inner sanctuary, where you will know the truth of you, and you will know that God is, and I am, and everything is all well in my life. For right where I am, the almighty presence of God moves in and through me. And I am that face outward into the world. So with an open mind, open heart, we agree to be present to the moment, right here, right now. Nothing is more important right now than to be here now. Willing, receptive, available to Spirit. We are grateful. We are grateful for the truth that we know that sustains us and grounds us and helps us move forward. As we acknowledge the Christ within. And so it is. Amen. So would you say with me the affirmation of oneness? There is one power and one presence in the universe and in my life. God the good, all-powerful, all-knowing, everywhere present, right here, right now, God. And so today we have a special dedication of our prayer chaplain team. a wonderful, powerful team. We have spent many hours the last couple of weeks training and preparing to serve this community. And today we want to acknowledge them and make a special dedication for them. And if we would begin that, they're going to proceed in as we sing the song, Here I Am, Lord, making ourselves available to God, making ourselves allowable to be in the presence and in the flow of God. So we'll begin that. And I invite you to join us in singing it.
I, the Lord of sea and sky, I have heard my people cry, all who dwell in dark and sin, my hand will save. I who made the stars of night, I will make their darkness bright. Who will bear my light to them? Whom shall I send? Here I am, Lord. Is it I, Lord? I have heard you calling in the night. I will go, Lord, if you lead me. I will hold your people in my heart. I, the Lord of wind and plain, I will tend the poor and lame. I will set a feast for them, my hand will save. Finest bread I will provide, till their hearts be satisfied. I will give my life to them. Whom shall I send? Here I am, Lord. Is it I, Lord? I have heard you calling in the night. I will go, Lord, if you lead me. I will hold your people in my heart. I will hold your people in my
What a wonderful song as a theme song of this ministry, that they will hold the people in this community in their hearts and in their prayers. That is the sole role of a prayer chaplain, to pray with you. And many of you already have one, someone that calls you every month faithfully and prays with you for whatever need you may have. Someone that you can call and ask for prayer. And they have really decided to consecrate themselves to this ministry. A prayer chaplain is not a counselor. Prayer chaplain is really there to hold that sacred space, seeing you in your divine potential, even when sometimes we can see it for ourselves. So I am really, really, and another thing I would say is that they are my right hand. I cannot do the pastoral care all by myself. There are so many here that need that loving attention. And for me, they are that hand that go beyond my hands and help me to pray and hold this community. Do you know that every Sunday there is a high watch prayer chaplain, someone that sits in the chairs back there? And while we are celebrating, they are holding a sacred space, seeing the truth of who we are and that God is right here where we are. Isn't that beautiful? It's just absolutely perfect. And so throughout the last couple of years, through the pandemic, through all the stuff that we faced, oh my goodness, this team held on. This team continued to do the work that they were called to do. And they did it under the leadership of someone really, really special to us, and that is Bonnie. Bonnie Williams. Bonnie, I cannot tell you what a strong tower of strength you are for me and for this congregation and for all the people that you prayed for. Bonnie would go make hospital visits. Can you imagine? Home visits. She went above and beyond the call of being a prayer chaplain. And for your beautiful light and for your wonderful love, we say thank you. And so now Bonnie has passed the baton over to Gary Ammerman. Gary Ammerman is our new prayer chaplain coordinator, and he's going to be in the lobby today. If you don't have a prayer chaplain and you would like one, or if you just want to know what is a prayer chaplain, he's going to be there to answer all your questions at the table. And so I want us to now bless them as they go forth to bless us. Before we do that, I need to ask them, I want to thank you for your willingness to serve as a prayer chaplain, to create sacred space that you would fill with compassion and love for anyone seeking it. This is one way that you will show up as the Christ, the very face of God. And I thank you for the many, many visible and invisible ripples of blessings, which will be the result of your loving practice in prayer for others. So let us give us a unity blessing. You can do it sitting or standing, whatever way it is. And the blessing goes like this. We love you. We bless you. We appreciate you. We behold the Christ in you, and we see you doing great things, okay? Here we go. We love you. We bless you. We appreciate you. We behold the Christ in you, and we see you doing great things. And so it is. Woo-hoo. Thank you, my dear prayer chaplains. Thank you. And we're going to leave the altar just as it is, as you take your seats, and we move into preparing for a time of meditation. Oh, our beautiful chaplains. Make sure you meet Gary in the lobby so that he can sign you up for whatever you may, if you want a prayer chaplain. So now let us prepare. Let us shift now, transition from this wonderful experience of dedicating a powerful team in our community to remembering that the power is within us. And so we're going to prepare to settle ourselves, be real quiet as we listen to today's daily word. Today's daily word is light. And the affirmation is, the light of truth dissolves all darkness. Say that with me. The light of truth dissolves all darkness. And that is true. A bird's cheerful song interrupts the quiet of the night. The dark sky grows lighter, and puffy clouds begin to glow with a beautiful shade of pink. Brilliant rays announce the sun's arrival. The sun peeks over the horizon, flooding the new day with light. Light dissolves darkness in my consciousness in a similar way. At challenging times, my heart responds to the hopeful thought that this too shall pass. Hope grows into faith as my mind opens to divine wisdom that is always mine to claim. Guided by the dawning light of truth, I see the way forward and follow it with confidence. As surely as each new day brings a sunrise, my faith assures me the light of truth will dissolve the darkness of any obstacle that I may face. And from the book of John, chapter 1, verse 5, the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness did not overcome it. Say with me, the light of truth dissolves all darkness. The light of truth dissolves all darkness, and so it is.
I breathe in and know. I breathe out and let go. Here in my heart, that's the right place to start. I that's the right place to start. I breathe, just breathe. I breathe, just breathe.
For our meditation this morning, I would like to read a poem, but I want you to take it in as a meditation. It's titled Matins, which means morning prayer. It's written by John O'Donohue. So if you will just take a deep breath, relax in your chair, close your eyes if you're comfortable. Feel the words of this poem and take it into your heart. Somewhere out on the edges, the night is turning and the waves of darkness begin to brighten the shore of dawn. The heavy dark falls back to earth and the freed air goes wild with light. The heart fills with fresh, bright breath, and thoughts stir to give breath to color. I arise today in the name of silence, womb of the word, in the name of stillness, home of belonging, in the name of the solitude of the soul and the earth. I arise today. Blessed by all things, wings of breath, delight of eyes, wonder of whisper, intimacy of touch, eternity of soul, urgency of thought, miracle of health, embrace of God. May I live this day compassionate of heart, gentle in word, gracious in awareness, courageous in thought, generous in love. Take a deep breath and gently open your eyes. Namaste.
Wow, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful poem as a meditation. Thank you. I love it. Okay, so here we are. I'd like to start today's message on We Can Rise Up with a story of a father who, on his son's birthday, gave him a statue of a balloon man. And he told the little boy, see what you can do, see if you can knock him down. And so the little boy drew his fist back, and with all his might, he hit that man, and yeah, the balloon man fell down, but just as instantly, it came right back up. And so the little boy decided he would try a second time, and this time a little harder. He was going to hit him just a little bit harder, and he did. And again, the balloon man falls down, hits the ground, but once again, he bounces back up. And so the father says to the little boy, why do you think he keeps coming back up every time that you knock him down? And the little boy says, well, I don't know. Maybe, I guess it's because he's standing up strong in the inside. He's standing up strong in the inside. A perfect message to talk to you about the power of strength today. Have you ever felt in your life, and if you haven't, tell me your secret. Have you ever felt really knocked down by the circumstances that have shown up in your life? You ever felt that? Like somebody, like life just punched you, you know? And you wondered, you know, how am I ever going to get up from this? How am I ever going to continue on? How many of you have ever felt like that? Of course. It is part of the experience we have in this lifetime to help us learn some valuable lessons as we get up. And what is it in us that gives us that ability to rise up from the challenges of life? What is it? Well, I tell you, it's not anything that you will find out here. Because what it is a power within you. There is a power in you that gives you the ability to persist, to endure, to be determined, to stay the course, to stand firm, to stay in integrity. And that power is the power of strength. All these flags around here are depictive of our spiritual powers, that things within us that help us to live this life in the way that we were intended to live it. And I'm not talking physical strength, although there's one way that strength will manifest itself. I'm talking about a much more valuable strength. I'm talking about inner strength. Inner strength. You say that the disciple that represents this power in us is Andrew. And Andrew's brother was Peter. Peter represents faith. And so when strength and faith are united, watch out. Especially when they're under the loving direction of the Christ consciousness. There is nothing that you will not be able to overcome. It may take time. That's why you have the power of endurance, but you will overcome. You will be able to see yourself to the other side, bounce back up, and come back up even stronger because in the process you learned some valuable lessons. So this ability, it is something that we all possess. It's not given to some. But we need to cultivate it. We need to be able to develop it so that it becomes much more powerful in us. And we don't develop it with tension or strain. We don't make it happen. We don't have to find it because we already have it. All we need to do is trust, be in a relaxed and trusting attitude. And through prayer and meditation, be able to create the consciousness that will empower this power, strengthen you to help you do what is yours to do and what you have come here to be. See, in prayer, what we do is we don't call out to a God out there to help us. We don't. Because we know that there is one power, one presence in the universe and in my life. God, the good, all-powerful, all-knowing, everywhere present, right here, right now in my life. So where I stand, God is. Where you stand, God is. So the power of the universe resides in you. So I don't have to talk out there. I know it's within me. And I express it in my life at the level of my consciousness. So if I want to have that strength that is enduring, persistent, powerful, allowing me to move through anything in life, then I want to be able to cultivate a consciousness in my mind that affirms that to be so. So in prayer, I begin to release the power that I have given to any thoughts or feelings that have limited me, that have not said the truth of who I am. Release that. And in its place, because the universe abhors a void, in its place I will put in an affirmation. I am a child of God. I can do anything. Christ in me strengthens me. I have the power to endure and to persist. I have the power to stay with it, stay on the course. The prophet Isaiah said that those who wait upon the Lord, because in prayer you wait, you take a moment to wait, to be in that silence so that you could listen to the guidance of where you're going to go next. And the prophet Isaiah said that those who wait upon the Lord will renew their strength. They shall mount on wings of eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and will not faint. Powerful, right? Those that wait will receive the spiritual understanding that they need, for they will hear the sweet spirit voice, the Christ in you, guiding you, leading you. It's interesting that they use the eagle because the eagle symbolizes strength and victory. And it can rise to unbelievable heights. And from that added altitude, from that height up there, it has a bigger view. It sees a bigger picture. And from that height, it can spot its prey. And so just as the eagle takes into flight, so do we take into flight when we are in prayer. That's what we do. We rise up and see the bigger picture. We go beyond the realm of appearances and hold on to the truth that we know. And we can rise up from that state of consciousness that is higher and sees more clearly, has a better focus of what's going on. And in that state of higher consciousness, our life cannot be harmed. Because the true self, the what we really are, is not this body. That which we really are is divine, and nothing can harm it. Nothing. I love the quote from the Course in Miracles that says, "Nothing real can be threatened. Nothing unreal exists." Think about that. Nothing real, the real you, cannot be threatened. Nothing unreal. This out here that constantly changes and comes and goes. It really is not real. It doesn't exist. And when we put our focus on that, we miss out on the power within us. Those words are pretty profound from the Course in Miracles. From a higher state of consciousness, this inner strength has the ability to establish us in peace. Because we're not worried, we're not afraid. We have this power within us that somehow gives us a peace that surpasses all understanding. Have you ever had to respond to an emergency and something kind of takes over you? I got so many. I was a school teacher. So I have many stories. I remember a child in my classroom in the second grade stuck a eraser up his nose. and he came, and I guess because he couldn't get it out, he started to panic. And he started to hyperventilate. And I could see, oh my God, this kid's not in good shape. And I knew I had a classroom all around me, but I don't know what. It was almost like I went into automatic pilot. Something took hold of me. And I wasn't afraid. I was almost like super calm and really determined and clear about what it was mine to do to help that little boy at that moment until more help came. And when it was over, of course, I said, whew, how in the world did I do that? But have you had that experience as something that kind of takes over? It's an inner thing, a guidance, a power within you that gives you the ability to persist in doing what is yours to do at that moment, and to do it with a sense of peace within you. This inner strength really establishes us in not retaliating when we feel provoked. Like, it's almost like we start to get duck feathers, allow everything to slide off of us. Because in reality, whatever they're revolting about is really something within them. So you're able, that power, strength allows you to stand and not take that personally. You're firmly grounded. It balances us so that we're not tossed here and there, with the winds of experiences that come into our lives. And this inner strength gives us that immense capacity to be able to forgive. We're not grounded and strong. You cannot forgive. But inner strength gives you that. It gives you the ability to love your enemies and do good where someone has not done good for you. Because you know who you are. Because you have this power within you. Because the strength that is within you tells you, shows you that you can do this. Yes, you can. Somebody says, I can't forgive him. Yes, you can. You can. Tap into that power in you. Because forgiveness is not for the other person. Forgiveness is for you. So you're not tied into that person anymore or that experience. And inner strength is non-violent. There's no violence in inner strength. I think about the strength of Mahatma Gandhi and Dr. Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks and Mother Teresa and Jesus. Men and women of exceptional inner strength. And we saw that same strength in, remember Christopher Reeves, the Superman? Remember him? We saw that strength in that man too. He looked to the inside to find a power that was not found in muscles and bones, but in spirit, mind, and heart. Buddha says that the time of greatest gain of wisdom and inner strength is often the time of greatest difficulty. I could guarantee you, in that time when you feel knocked down, you will find the strength in you you never knew you had. You just never knew you had. And I always am marveled by people who have gone through horrendous experiences in their lives. And somehow they have this peace, this confidence. When I see a very peaceful, confident person moving through life, I always ask myself, what darkness did they conquer? What darkness did they conquer? Because it's through the darkness that they saw the light. They say that mountains cannot rise without earthquakes. We cannot rise without the challenges of life. In the book 12 Powers of You, David Williamson says, inner strength is like a deep lake waiting to go through the hydroelectric generator to produce millions of watts of electricity. It is calm, it is still, and yet it contains tremendous energy. Wow, isn't that a powerful quote about strength? And so very true. And there's a Bible story that speaks about strength. It's the story of Solomon. How many of you know the story of Solomon? Well, let me kind of go real quickly for some of you that don't. He was given at birth a very special gift, incredible physical strength. And he would use this strength later on to defend the Israelites, from the Philistines, who were their enemy. But his superhuman strength was not really directed by a consciousness that was centered on truth. And so his strength was somewhat unruly. He's like a biblical Hulk. When he was upset or under stress, he would unleash his incredible power, and anyone that was around him, watch out, it was disastrous for you. And the Philistines feared him. They wanted to find out, how can we destroy him? He's keeping us from doing what we want to do. How can we destroy him? They needed to find out what was the source of his power. And they tried and they couldn't until Delilah shows up. See, Samson had a weakness for beautiful women. And so Delilah was incredibly beautiful. And Samson really was very fond of her and liked to have her around a lot. And so the Philistines saw this as an opportunity to see if Delilah can find out what is the source of his strength. And they told her, listen, if you find out, we'll give you money. Lots and lots of money. And so Delilah, enticed by material things. Said, imagine, I could just imagine her. Imagine how many shoes I could buy and what I can do, you know. I could just imagine her doing that. So she tried and she tried several times to get the secret from Samson, and Samson each time would tell her something else. But one day, she wore him all down, and he told her the truth about his strength. He said that when he was born, there was a vow made that he would never cut his hair, and in exchange, God would give him great strength. And that's what happened. But he knew that if his head was shaved, and he would lose his hair, he would become as weak as any other man. So when Delilah found out the secret, she couldn't wait to get forward and share it because she knew she would get her money. So when Samson falls asleep on her lap, she calls for someone to shave his head. And when that was done, she calls on to the Philistines who were waiting, the guards that were waiting to arrest him. And they came. And to Samson's surprise, he wasn't able to fight them. He realized he no longer had strength. They captured him because he was weak. His strength was weak. And what the Philistines did with him is that they gorged his eyes. He became blind. They took him to a prison and chained him there. You know, on the surface, when you see the story, you say, wow, this is a tragedy. How is this in any way going to, uplift me? But you see, the story doesn't end there. You see, every story in the Bible, I didn't know this when I was growing up. Every story in the Bible is really a depiction of ourselves in the states of levels of consciousness that we're in. It also gives us guidance and understanding and for the journey that we are moving towards to become a greater expression of the true self that we are. So every character and event and thing is an aspect of us. So in order for us to really uncover the deeper meaning of this story, we go much deeper than the literal sense, we have to offer a metaphysical interpretation. That one that goes beyond the physical. Metaphysically, Samson represents our human consciousness. And the Philistines represent spiritual ignorance. Someone who is not aware, who lacks understanding, spiritual understanding, who doesn't know who they really are, doesn't know the things of truth. So those represent the Philistines, and here is Samson, sense consciousness, human consciousness, the one that who's driven by the senses, by material things. And so when our human consciousness is overtaken by spiritual ignorance, well, all we have in here are the falsehoods of who we are, then our divine potential is weakened. And Samson's fall is a very powerful depiction by what they did to his eyes. The eyes represent spiritual perception, where you could see clearly. You could see through the lenses of spirit. You could be like that eagle that rises higher and you see the bigger picture. And so when they gorge out his eyes, that represents that he had no spiritual perception, couldn't see. And sometimes we're like that too. We cannot see the truth, even though it stands before us. Even though we repeat it and we say it, we don't believe it. And so when we don't have any spiritual perception, we cannot see the truth. We see it in distorted ways. We cannot recognize our divine potential, nor that there is one power of which we are part of. We just can't do that. So we feel somewhat alone in this state, in this human consciousness that has been captivated by the falsehoods of the Philistines, the lack of understanding. And like Samson, our strength is weakened. Without that spiritual understanding, we just are misguided because we lean on our own understanding. You know how limited that is, right? We lean on our own understanding and then things fail, and over again the same lessons appear in our lives until we learn. And so you can have the strength, but without faith strengthening it, represented by Samson's hair, our strength is really just misguided strength, physical strength, not that strong inner powerful strength. And here is where Samson stands, eyes gorged, imprisoned, weakened, in a state of consciousness that he'd never felt he could conquer what was before him. And they went and they chained him to the pillars of a temple. And people mocked him. They said to him, "Where is your God? Who's going to help you now?" And I'm sure that Samson must have felt profound shame and disappointment in himself, because he knew that it was his choices that had gotten him there. He knew that. You ever felt like that? You know, wow, I'm in a big old mess. I really feel disappointed I'm here and ashamed that I'm even here. But who made the choices? We did. Yeah, you and I did. If you're honest, if you really are an honest truth seeker, if you really want to know truth, at one time or another, you're going to find yourself like Samson in that same predicament. And whether or not you admit it, we all have choices that we regret, all of us. The choice is next, how do I rise up from that and choose differently? How do I do that? I know that the good news is that there is always a way through and out of whatever challenge we face, because our true self, our divine nature, is never bound by this world. Never. This is the great teaching of this story of Samson. In his despair, was Samson called upon the Lord. The Lord is that I am presence, the Christ in you, your hope of glory, your strong tower of strength. He calls upon the Lord, and he awakens to the realization that in his true nature, there is an overabundance strength, source of strength that he can draw from. And when we do that, when we call upon the Lord, the I am of us, the power within us, we too awaken to the realization that we are one with God, that the entire potential of God resides right here, and that I am more than a conqueror, stronger than I ever have given myself permission to be. Samson calls out saying, "Sovereign Lord, remember me, strengthen me once more, and let me with one blow get revenge on the Philistines for my 2 eyes." Then Samson, what he did, he reached to the pillars, the central pillars of that temple, and he braced himself, one in the right hand, one in the left hand with his chains. And he pushed with all his might until the temple and all the rulers and all the Philistines that were there came down. And there's a reason for that. There's a significance between that. Samson reached out to the central pillars because he wanted to get to the root of separation. He wanted to get to the root that was weakening his power of strength. He was not seeking any more a shortcut or superficial solutions. His only wish was to destroy the temple of idolatry, that his own mental and emotional structure of falsehood. Be careful what you say to yourself about yourself. It will weaken you. So the story of Samson, my friends, is not a tragedy. Not a tragedy at all. It's actually a story of spiritual victory, a triumph of our true self over the consciousness that keeps us bound in limitations. Like Samson, you and I are endowed with amazing spiritual powers. Some of them may seem superhuman from the ordinary consciousness. You know, how can I have that power in me? Because we're limited in our understanding when we just process it through our human consciousness. But nevertheless, whether you believe it or not, those are your birthrights. And you get to discover these powers and develop them as you move in your journey through the experiences that you have. You got the power. You can rise up. It's all within you. So my prayer for you is this, that you will remain strong in the Lord, in the Christ nature, that Christ presence that you are, and allowing yourself not to be dismayed by what is going on here. Seek spiritual understanding so that you can see from a higher place that in reality, all things are working for your good. And you got this. You really do. You got this. You can rise up. That's my prayer for you, that you will spend time releasing those thoughts that have limited you, engaging in thoughts that bring you more strength, so the spirit in you will rise and you will be strengthened by the power of its might. Namaste.
Close my eyes.
Because I'm rising
I
up,
open my
and I'm saying
heart.
that for us in this community.
I'll take a deep breath. Let the healing start. I lift my hands. I plant my feet. I let love in. I feel the beat that's calling us to rise, rise, spirit rise up, rise in me, and let in my soul, I clear my mind, I'm here and now, in present time. Feel the power of 1,000 suns lighting up the dark. Oh, we rise as one. Oh, rise, rise, spirit rise up, rise in me. To me, change up this noise, make sweet harmony. Come on and rise, oh rise, spirit rise up, rise in me, oh, oh rise, rise. No
Rise up.
This is the time in our service where we rise up.
Yeah.
And we give of our offerings, our tithes. If you're new here, we have envelopes on all the chairs. We do not pass a basket. We'll have ushers at the door as you leave where you can deposit your envelopes. So if you will, take your offering in your hand, hold it to your heart, and together we will give our offering for our blessing. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I send forth this gift with my blessings and my love. We thank you for this offering. We know that it is given in love, and it will only be received in love, and it will go out into our community in love and blessings. Each giver is blessed, and each giver is loved. We bless the receiver with this gift from our heart, and so it is. Amen. Our prayer of protection together. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love. The power of God protects us. I am the power. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Have a blessed week. You have announcements?
Few announcements before we leave. In the lobby, you're going to see Annie and where Ellen. Ellen and Annie are going to be in the lobby. Elaine, right? Elaine and Annie are going to be in the lobby. Elaine's offering a new class for women only, and it's a short class. I think there's only how many seats left? 5 more seats left. So if you want to be a part of this class, it's called Successful Aging. How many of you want to have a successful aging experience? Well, you want to go to that table and sign up for that. In the website, if you haven't seen it already, there is a series of videos that we did in collaboration with other churches. That's like a reflection and meditation for the Lent season. So go ahead to the website and do that. And finally, and don't forget the prayer chaplains Gary's out there on the prayer chaplain table to get information from you if you want a prayer chaplain. I want to take a moment to bless the children that are in our audience. Children are really special for us. We know they're the future. You don't need to do anything. We just want to love on you. So we just bless them for a moment. We love to do this for them because we see them doing great things, truly. We love you. We bless you. We appreciate you. We behold the Christ in you, and we see you doing great things. We believe that, truly. And so would you stand with me now and let's sing the peace song. Peace. Peace begins with me. And boy, do we need that right now. Peace. I will meet you in the lobby.